Welcome to Roofing Road Trips, the podcast that takes you on a thrilling journey across the world of roofing. From fascinating interviews with roofing experts to on-the-road adventures, we'll uncover the stories, innovations, and challenges that shape the rooftops over our heads. So fasten your seatbelts and join us as we embark on this exciting roofing road trip.
Hello and welcome to another Roofing Road Trips from Roofers Coffee Shop. My name is Heidi Ellsworth, and we are here today to talk about something that I have been passionate about for probably 3 decades, and that's solar. I know, we keep saying, is solar really going to be part of the roofing industry? Are we going to own the solar arrays? What's it all about? Well, I think we're finally making the turn, and it's because of our good friends at SRS. So we're here today to talk to them about what's happening with solar. Let's make this happen. Let's have the roofing contractors take it back. So I am here with Bill Eitenmiller and Jess Cress from SRS to talk solar. Hello, you two.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I am so excited for this conversation, and I just love, of course, being with both of you, talking through this. So let's start with some introductions so everybody else knows you too. So Bill, if you could introduce yourself, tell us what you do with SRS.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Bill Eitenmiller. I am the Director of Sales for Solar SRS, a fairly new position. I started on April 1st in this role, but have, kind of building up this program for about the last 8-9 months. So yeah, happy to be here.
It's great. And Jess, please introduce yourself.
Hi, Jess Cress with SRS Distribution. I'm out of the Athens, Georgia location, so representing the Southeast over here. Known you for a long time, been around roofing for a long time, so really excited to get into the solar space for sure.
I am curious when we talk about solar, that big picture. So Bill, let's start with you. Just kind of your experience, both in the roofing industry, but also with solar. How have you been involved with it in your career?
Oh, I'm super candid here. So I've been with SRS for 11 years. So I came on shortly after college and as an MIT, worked my way up to the company, was managing a branch in Eugene, Oregon. And I literally had a contractor walk into my office and he put a data sheet on my desk and said, "Hey, can I buy this from you?" And I said, "I don't know. I know what a solar panel is," but that was effectively the extent of my knowledge. But I love to learn. So I did a deep dive in the solar industry. I just started reaching out to contacts. And in 7-8 months, I decided, hey, this is something maybe we should be doing. We should be getting involved with. I mean, kind of looking at other folks in the industry from afar, what they've been doing. There was a huge transition kind of happening in the industry, and put a proposal up to the leadership team. And here we are. We got a new solar vertical launching and making waves. It's been a lot of fun.
That is great. And so Jess, how have you been involved with solar? And give us a little bit of history about your roofing.
Roofing specifically. I was an installer for a while, flipped a couple companies. I actually installed solar feet when I was in Florida about 8 or 9 years ago. Never thought I would be here. So I say Bill did it to me. He introduced the idea. SRS, of course, is always about how do we provide value to our contractors? And so when he gave me the opportunity to get open here, I took it, and he started throwing all kinds of training stuff at me. So I learned Greek for a few months, and now I can say I'm running solar out of a branch, and we're doing really well. The team has been great.
It kind of takes that. And I love this story, Bill, that, Eugene, Oregon, of course, first of all, love Oregon, and that you were there, but it rains a lot in Eugene. So you don't think about that, right? You don't think, oh, solar is going to be a big thing, but it is. And the fact that you took that idea and took a proposal to SRS all the way up, and they're like, yes, let's start a division. That I just have to kind of stop there for a second, because that says a lot about SRS.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't be here for this culture and the leadership. I've been so many opportunities, and obviously the huge transition that was announced here a couple of days ago. So exciting. And yeah, I thank our leadership team so much for providing this opportunity. But that's kind of the culture at SRS regardless. I mean, bring ideas. Let's try new things. And so very, very blessed to have this experience.
So how did you and Jess, start working together? How did did Jess just say, me, I want to do solar? Or did you guys stalk her? How did that work?
We're a big company now, right? So I was actually a territory manager that introduced me to Jess. What Jess? Probably last October or something like that. We're both working separate sides of the country, doing things, and hey, you really need to be reaching out to Jess Cress over in the Southeast. She's kind of kind of a badass, and so all right, let's do it. And she's definitely very, very impressive, and has been kind of our pilot branch so far. It's been going really well.
So Jess, what did you think when Bill reached out and said, hey, I want to do some solar? What was your thoughts?
Well, I think it was the natural response due to me being a glutton for punishment. I was like, yeah, why not?
Let's do it.
Are we gonna help people? 100%. Let's do it. I would say the entire company probably has that mindset. Like, if you have an opportunity to do something and it's going to provide value. It always goes back to that. How do we become a resource and provide value for the people that we service every day? We try to be a little bit different. So I was all in.
I love it. Okay, so let's talk about what's happening, Jess, in your branch. So you said, I'm all in, let's go. What was how did you approach it? Which contractors did you look at? What was kind of your game plan to start really providing solar into your market?
For me, and I would say probably for most of us, we're not really people who are just going to go out and sell something that we don't understand. So I would say the first 2 months was literally me just diving into everything Bill gave me. We went through training programs. I read specs. I probably could go pass a master electrician's test today. Truthfully, everything that I sell now, I've personally installed. So it was a huge learning curve. But I had to get myself familiar. When I did that, I started having conversations. Bill was great, instrumental in setting up a bunch of different avenues so that our contractors have those options of which direction they want to go. And from there, just talking to everyone. Everyone deserves the opportunity, at least.
Yeah. Yeah. To be able to do that and have that out there. So, okay. Athens was kind of your pilot or your starting point, Bill. Where are you on overall? Are you working with other branches selling solar? Kind of where's the program at right now?
Yeah, Athens was our starting location, and really was a lot of lessons learned there. Jess, I kind of tasked her with, hey, as you go through some of these things, there's the way solar distribution has kind of worked in the past, and then obviously SRS, we're kind of have to make it our own and do our own unique way. So she very gracious, did like an operational playbook for me, like all the kind of lessons learned. Like I can big picture thinker, I can kind of look at this makes a lot of sense, but how does it work in the field? And Jess is really good at, kind of breaking that stuff down and kind of putting that on paper so we can kind of grow these things out. So we actually have a branch in the Pacific Northwest. Tacoma, Washington has been stocking solar for a few months. It's been going really well up there. And we have a launch period set. So I don't want to get specific dates or anything quite yet, but we'll have a number of locations onboarded here in a very short period of time, stocking and distributing solar products.
So contractors who are listening to this, ask your SRS branch manager. You never know. It could be, you could have it already. So, okay, I really want to kind of dive into the contractor part of it. And so Jess, you've sold some systems, you're working with some contractors. What has been their success? What does that look like as they've kind of incorporated this and started down this road?
I think for most contractors, it was always something that was just unattainable. Specifically in the busy season, Southeast really doesn't slow down that much. And then once we got this off the ground and running, everybody's thinking about the summer. Like, how do we do that? I think we did a really good job at making it very easy for them. And since then, it's not some, elusive, crazy thing that they can't touch or chase anymore. It's something that they've been able to integrate into their business. And it's gone really well, truthfully.
So, Bill, let's explain it. How does this program work? I'm a contractor. I'm coming to Jess and I want to start doing solar. How does it work?
Yeah, I mean, again, 9 months ago, when that contractor rolled up into my desk, and they're just, I guess it's a little over almost a year ago now, rolled up to my desk with a data sheet and said, "Can I buy this from you?" I mean, selling product, that's the easy part. Like I buy from a manufacturer and we distribute it, right? Mm-hmm. But actually installing the product, and there's a lot of very regional specific requirements that they have to follow, state requirements, regional requirements, what have you. And so really roofers can kind of gain entry into the space in a few different ways. And there's a number of roofing companies out there that already have solar divisions, right? So obviously we have partnerships with many of those folks already, and that's kind of the easier path. But for the roofer who doesn't have any solar experience, right? For them just to come in and say, "Oh, we'll install the racking and have a solar company come in and do the modules." Like in some states, you can't even do that. You have to have an electrician on staff, be subcontracting with an electrician to make that work. And then the solar sales cycle and just learning how to sell solar is a completely different process than roofing. So it's been a lot of training, and we've got some strategic partnerships. And so really what I look at it is what's the easiest path for roofers to gain solar? So sometimes they just want to be completely vertically integrated, right? And have they want to hire an electrician, they want to do it their own, they want to bootstrap it and figure it out. And we do have a number of companies that have taken that path, right? They kind of control their own destiny, and they want to do everything underneath their name, and we're going to support that. A number of companies I've worked with over the last 11 years have actually started solar divisions in the last 6 months just because we're doing this stuff, which is very exciting. Others, they just want to have an easy button. They just want to be able to say, "Hey, I'm at this home already. The homeowner's here. They're interested in solar. I don't have a source. I don't have a way to sell them solar. Bill, how do we get them into the space?" And so we've got some partnerships out there with folks that can effectively kind of help them close those deals, and as either passing off a lead and they get a little piece of the pie, or they can get taught how to do the sales component and then kind of work with this other organization on the side. And so there's a number of pathways to get through this. The biggest thing is we want our contractors to know that you don't have to say no, or we don't do that. You now have an answer. You can bring solar to the customer.
Well, to me, that's really interesting because there are a lot of solar providers, companies out there who are coming to contractors and are saying, "Just give us a referral and we'll take care of it." But there's no trust, right? Exactly. Because they don't know who they are. And so when I hear, kind of, it sounds like to me, and confirm if I'm right on this, Bill, that what SRS has done is taken, the trust, contractors trust SRS, and you have found good strategic partners to do that, where like, if it just wants to be a referral, you're safe because it's through somebody who's trusted. If you want to get more involved all the way to having it totally integrated, that makes a lot of sense. And it also makes sense to me that the contractor can maybe start at step one with referrals and then work their way up through that. Jess, what are you seeing with your contractors? Or most of them, what are they doing? Referrals? Or are they kind of doing the whole thing? What's the mix?
A lot of them are coming to me originally because they need help. Like Bill said, we're here. They've asked about solar. What do we do? I can connect them with someone that we're already talking to, servicing, have a partnership with. Some guys are actually setting up training programs as we speak. They have people coming in and training them on how to go from 0 to 100. It's a big mix, really. And, you would think, specifically Georgia, right? Like solar doesn't make sense is what a lot of people are saying. But the second that people started looking into it and kind of checking it out, it's all of a sudden the dime is flipping just a little bit. And you're starting to see a lot of people have access to something that they didn't have access to as a consumer. Right. So, a little bit across the board.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but I mean, and taking those steps. So what are some of the challenges you're seeing for contractors? I mean, is there some trust issues to get over, Jess? Because solar has been, like I said, since I started 30 years, I've been excited about solar and it just never seems to, it takes off in little bits here and there, but we really as a roofing industry haven't owned it. What are some of the challenges you're seeing with your contractors in trying to really get into it?
Candidly, I would say yes, of course, but I think there's trust issues with anything you don't know, right? I don't know that it's necessarily one thing or another. I think it's just, this is, again, back to this elusive thing that everyone hears of. It's super cool and trendy, but no one knows what to do. So I think, of course, there was some trust to overcome there. Training, for sure. It's a brand new language. That was always something that, we don't have time, or how do we figure this out? And that's where SRS came in and made it super easy. And you can go whichever direction you want. We just wanted to make sure we had a path for everyone. I would say, truthfully, any of the challenges have been really good growth for us, like lessons for our team and our staff. Every single person I have in this branch dug into, like, as soon as I learned it and started putting it out, they just dug their heels in and they were like, let me soak up as much as I have. So if you walk into this branch, somebody knows what you're talking about. It was good. I'm thrilled, truthfully.
That is so cool. So, okay, talking about training, Bill, going back to that, what Jess just said, one of the things that I've seen over the years is regulations. Like you said, state to state is different, tax incentives, building codes, all of that. So on a national level, that has to be a huge challenge for you, to help all the branches within each of the states to understand what they're doing, and then to be able to train the contractors to understand it. Talk a little bit about that.
Oh, yeah, it's so easy to get lost in the weeds of some of that stuff and try to synthesize all the information. And it's really like, what's the most important for the branches to know, and for the contractors to know, to be successful in the space. I mean, those that are going to be vertically integrated, obviously, they're going to have a deeper knowledge set. And I'm always learning. I mean, I'm finding out new things. The more I get into this industry, the more I found out I just don't know, the next step. And I'm super humble on that. I just want to make sure, I'm not by any means a product expert in all areas, but I just want to make sure I have enough resources for the branches to be successful in the space. That's really it. Just right now, I'm working through a kind of a little how-to cheat sheet book, for the branches. Like, if this, then this, then that. Like, what questions am I not thinking of? Just simple little things.
And are you finding that? I mean, there's a lot of solar companies out there who are doing solar every day. And I've always heard this rumor, so I'm just going to see if it's true or not, but that there's a lot of roofing companies that actually sub for these solar companies. Has that been a case? And how is that kind of bringing everything together? Yeah,
I mean, there's a ton of, especially the larger solar companies, they have roofing subs everywhere nationally. I get since I've been into this space, I'm getting a lot of emails. I'm sure Jess is too, of these solar companies coming out of the weeds, and we're being a resource for them needing roofers, right, in different markets, which is a win-win for everybody, right? So certainly we're, we know the roofers better than anyone. I mean, certainly better than the traditional solar distribution companies, and so we're able to help bridge that gap as well. Absolutely, that's always going to be a thing.
I think that's a full circle, right? As you're looking
Absolutely.
at this, that full circle comes back around. So on the referral side, that seems like the very first step. I mean, it is. We've already established that, but it's the very first step. Jess, how does that work for your contractors? If they want to do referral, and for contractors who are listening out there, they're in the home, the homeowner says, I want solar. What's kind of their path to really take advantage of this SRS referral program?
I'd say the first step, what we do initially, is just set up a call and make sure that they understand what that looks like. Number one, what are you going to put in place in your business to ensure that it is something that you offer, not necessarily just a backup. Of course, it could be. We're here to help, however. But I think we set up the call for sure. Find the right fit. Everybody jives a little bit different.
Yeah.
You find the right fit and ensure that partnership is there. They trust each other. And then specifically, however each company does it. Like I've seen everything from, an app, super easy. Like you're there, move on.
Yeah.
Or it's a phone call or an in-person Zoom. There are so many options, and there's really a fit for everyone, depending on what they're looking for.
And then when they move beyond the referral and they want to start selling their own and doing the training, is that something that's available through the branches? Are you guys doing training sessions, or is this something that you kind of go to the solar manufacturers, the panel manufacturers, or a combination of both, Bill?
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to be set up to like necessarily teach people how to do the full. We have industry partners in the space that kind of lead them in the right direction, right? So at the end of the day, we're not going to be involved in the direct solar sales process with the homeowner, but we want to be able to, just like I'm providing my team internally resources to be able to make sure their branch is set up operationally. They got the manufacturer support to sell and distribute solar. I want to make sure the roofers have enough opportunity and the resources to make sure they can get to the right, what they want to do as well, whether it be vertically integrated or through this referral process. There's a number of resources out there. And certainly to Jess's point, there's a lot of different ways to kind of go about this. And so we want to kind of make sure we're finding the right fit for each contractor. It's no different than how we sell roofing in a lot of ways. And we ask contractor, what's important to you? How do you want to, are you more want to focus on selling warranties, or do you want to, you are just trying to find like the cheapest laminate, or how do you go to market? I want to make sure we have enough resources out there so they can kind of decide what we decide for them. They kind of, and almost like an a la carte type opportunity there.
Really. Jess, how's this changed your yard and delivery? Bringing in solar panels and just a whole nother product line. How has that gone?
Really good. I'm blessed. I'm not gonna lie. I have the best team. I did hand select most of them actually, but I couldn't have done any better. From the warehouse to the counter, my drivers are so excited to be, hey, we're delivering solar. Like, it's so cool. And everyone's so excited about it that it's been really easy. We've delivered a ton of solar, and I think we've messed up like one tiny little piece of something. So like the efficiency and the ability to be able to get that stuff out. And I think their excitement plays a big part into it. As far as the yard and the branch, it was pretty easy to just plug it in. It wasn't incredibly difficult, truthfully. I would say the first order, we stumbled through it. We had to figure some things out. After that, we made a couple more tweaks. And since then, everything it goes out really easily.
Yeah, that is so cool. I love hearing that, because so often all you hear about is roadblocks and problems and everything like that. But to hear that this is being integrated so seamlessly and in a way that contractors can take small bites, right? They don't have to eat the whole elephant. They can grow into it along with them. What about profit and growth for contractors? How can solar really play an important role in their business to help them grow to that, to take on that next division, to grow their business? Jess, what are you seeing from your contractors?
I think it's always considered quote unquote value add, right? Anytime you're able to throw in gutters with your roof package, or the ability to put in insulation. It's just another arm, another option, another tool in the tool belt, always. So I think, of course, the guys that are looking at it and really, understanding that that's what it is, they've done really well in regards to just having a value-added proposition for them. But also, we focus a lot on the consumer. Like, you want to be able to have that option if you want it. Right. Like if this is something you want to get when you get your roof put on, you have the ability to do that. And I think that has really changed the game in this space a lot, giving people that option. Because before it really wasn't there.
And so then you're leaving the homeowner wanting something more and you can't deliver.
Right.
Yeah. And how about nationally, Bill? And you said something earlier that really, the salespeople, being able to train the salespeople to sell solar and to be able to talk about it with the homeowners and stuff. How is that looking as these contractors are expanding into solar?
Yeah, roofing contractors are really just the best, in a lot of ways, a really good fit for this space, right? They're already there in the home, and especially those more consultative, sales-minded companies, right? That kind of sit down and have that baked-in trust with the homeowner already. And oftentimes during that discovery process, they're going to find the homeowner is getting a roof because they're getting solar, they're thinking about solar, or what have you. So you've already got the contract signed. You're near getting that contract signed on the roofing side, and all of a sudden you have this additional solution, right? That's competitively priced. That's a really good warranty. So yeah, for these folks, it's a simple process. It's just the next step. And for those that want to use a lead generative type model where they're just passing off a lead and adding additional profit, where they could have been making, X on an overall project, and all of a sudden they're making a little bit more, it's a win for them. And if they want to be completely vertically integrated, and do the whole thing, they can make even more money, right? So there's just a lot of pathways. And it's been really exciting to see the roofing industry generally change from the manufacturer's standpoint. With GAF entering the space and their solar shingle, and you have the Certainty in their Solstice shingle and their rack and panel products. And then Owens Corning adding their Solar Protect program and their warranties for platinum and certain preferred contractors. And you can see the merging of this industry and the roofing contractors getting more comfortable and having more resources and tools, not just from SRS, but from the manufacturers as well.
It's not going away.
It's not going away.
Even if it was a little slow start. It's not going away. Well, I am so excited to watch both of you and see how this just explodes, because I know it will. You can already see it happening. And so we're going to have you back on another Roofing Road Trips in a year or so we can hear all about the solar across Georgia and the U.S. Because, Bill, you're going to have it in every branch by then.
Fingers crossed.
I love it. Well, yeah, it'll happen. It'll happen. Thank you both so much for being here today and being on this Roofing Road Trips. This has been great. I love it. I love to see the solar taking over. This is excellent. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Heidi.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you all for listening. Hey, you got to get out, go hit the branch and ask your SRS branch manager what they're doing with solar. And if they say, I don't know, have them call Bill. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be so important in every market that you really look at this to add to your business, whether you're commercial or residential. It's not going away. It's only going to get bigger. So thank you so much for listening today. Please share this out with all of your roofing professional friends so that they can also hear about what's happening. Be sure to check out all of our podcasts under the Read, Listen, Watch directory navigation on Roofers Coffee Shop. Also, on your favorite podcast channel, be sure to subscribe and set your notifications so you don't miss a single episode. We'll be seeing you next time on Roofing Road Trips.
If you've enjoyed the ride, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join us on every roofing adventure. Make sure to visit rooferscoffeeshop.com to learn more. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next Roofing Road Trip.